Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into Tesla's Q2 2025 financial report. But we're not just going to look at the numbers. We're going to unpack the story behind them. A story about facing some serious challenges, pulling off a surprising turnaround, and making a huge, fundamental pivot in the company's whole strategy.
So let's start with this. A pretty stark warning from Tesla's own filing. This one sentence really sets the stage. It captures the intense pressure the company is under, and honestly, it helps explain almost every other number we're about to look at. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the storm Tesla's navigating. Then, we'll see how the numbers actually held up. After that, we'll pop the hood and look at the different parts of the business before we unpack this major pivot they're making toward the future. Okay, let's get right into it. All right, first up, we've got to understand the world Tesla is operating in right now. These are the big external pressures, the headwinds, that are really shaping this quarter's results and, frankly, forcing some of their biggest decisions. I mean, Tesla is basically facing a perfect storm. For starters, that big $7,500 federal tax credit, it's gone. On top of that, you've got these stubbornly high interest rates that make car loans way more expensive for everybody. And this is all happening while they're dealing with shifting trade policies, really fierce competition from Chinese EV makers, and all the usual supply chain risks. It's a tough environment for sure. Okay, so given all those challenges, how did Tesla actually do? Did they manage to weather that storm? Let's take a look at the top-line numbers. The big headline number is $22.5 billion in revenue for the quarter. But, a number like that on its own doesn't really tell you the whole story. And this is where it gets really interesting, because this slide tells two completely different stories at the same time. On one hand, revenue is down 12% from this time last year. Ouch. But on the other hand, it's up a really strong 16% from just last quarter. That bounce back suggests they might just be pulling out of a slump. So to really understand that turnaround, we have to look at the heart and soul of Tesla's business, the automotive division. And yep, no surprise here, automotive is still the lion's share of the business. We're talking nearly 3/4 of all revenue. To put it simply, as the car business goes, so goes Tesla. And this is what drove that quarterly rebound we just saw. Automotive revenue jumped back a whopping 19% over Q1. Why? Well, it's largely because they finally got the production ramp up for their bestseller, the new Model Y, all sorted out. Getting those cars built and out to customers meant getting that revenue in the door. But the car story isn't the only story. Even though it's the biggest piece of the pie, other parts of Tesla's business are showing some really impressive growth and kind of hinting at where the company is headed next. Just look at this table. It shows such a stark contrast. The core auto business down 16% compared to last year, but then you look at the services division and it surged by 17%. It's really a tale of two very different growth stories happening inside one company. So what's behind this record growth in services? Well, it's the direct result of a really smart strategic move, opening up their supercharger network to other EV brands. By letting Fords, GMs, Rivians, you name it, come and plug in, Tesla has created this powerful new revenue stream that just keeps growing. And what about the energy division? Well, the numbers look a little quiet this quarter, but don't let that fool you. This division is basically poised for a huge second half of the year. That's because two massive new factories, their mega factories in Lathrop, California and Shanghai, are finally ramping up and are going to be running at full steam very soon. So how does all this fit together? Where is Tesla headed? Well, based on this report, the company's future might look very, very different from its past. This is it, the great pivot. With the EV market getting tougher and more competitive, Tesla is actively redefining itself. They're making a shift away from being seen as just a car company and toward becoming a real-world AI company. It's a pretty fundamental change in their whole identity. And hey, this isn't just talk. They have a concrete plan. Step 1, keep improving full self-driving and get more people to subscribe. Step 2, launch their own autonomous ride-hailing service, the Robotaxi network. And Step 3, release the Cybercab, a whole new kind of vehicle that's designed from the ground up just for that service. This is the area where Tesla believes it can get a real long-term edge over everyone else. And that really leaves us with this central question coming out of this whole report. As the electric vehicle market gets more and more crowded,
Is this big pivot to AI a visionary masterstroke, or is it a massive, high-stakes gamble on a future that hasn't quite arrived yet? That, right there, is what we'll all be watching.